What's going on? It's Justeeni here. Today, I decided I'm going to play in the Yadakk World Championship qualifiers because, anyone can do it, and I felt like doing it. Yes, I'm already qualified for Zabasi, but I'd rather get more chances, Things aren't going to 100% work with Zabasi, so might as well try for other tribes. You might see me doing some other tribes, potentially, depending on how Yadakk goes. No spoilers yet, but let's just get right into things. This is the first round, so things are going to be a little boring. Just going for some good old road opening. You see, I actually don't buy the tech. I'm just going to brush on this because why not? I don't buy the tech because I don't want my score above 1,000. That's like the only reason. It's like, it does the same thing either way, but why not? It's slightly more optimal. So anyway, that happens. Pretty boring first game. The opponent kind of gets destroyed. They train a rider on their cap and I siege them with a vet warrior. Very cool. Anyway, on to the next game. Alright, next game, and this time it is against the one and only Panjafog, who I have played once and won by just getting luckier, but we'll see if things turn around this time. Panjafog, he's the best player of all time with, but this time the spawn's not looking as good. The second city is quite terrible, in fact. It has just one fish, which means I have to get fishing and roads to connect. But perhaps I can still get lucky. I go for the workshop here because I just need economy so bad. Now I go fishing, upgrade this, explorer, and it is going to meet the opponent. And I can see they're not doing very well either, so despite the fact that they have like amazing density, I don't know, things just didn't turn out. This warrior is going to be stranded and very easy to kill, so long as it lands there, but I saved enough stars for either case. Happened to be close, which was good for me. Now suddenly, if Panjafog does nothing here, I'm getting Grand Bazaar. Simple as. And I get a pop growth on my capital, which is like the best possible ruin anyway, and it's even better for Yadakk. You're just going to be able to see like some truly nasty stuff now. Get the upgrade, get the port, and next turn I'm just getting a giant. Get the lighthouse there. There's the giant. Now I get the other explorer. Missed the lighthouse actually. And I missed the other one, but I can do some funneling to at least get the northern one. That happens. And now I'm very close to Eye of God. I decide to just snag it. Spending 5 stars, yes, but I think that tempo is worth the 5 stars here. Now grabbing Eye of God. I will say at this point, we see Panjafog going with construction. Markets just aren't going to be the play here. This is a very water-heavy map, and I have a water capital, coastal capital, that's the word. Yeah, another pop ruin, because why not? And at this point, they try to defend, but no matter how almighty he is, he just can't defend here. Triple siege and he's dead. Doesn't even get this city. Or the ruin, I just denied that too, and I'm getting this. And I'm just going to be up in cities. With the bomber, total naval dominance, so yeah. GG's. On to the next match now. Alright, next game. Just get right into things. Managed to get really nice setup. Again, buying no tech. Just in case the opponent finds me. Because it doesn't really matter if you buy the tech or not, you develop equally fast, so it's better not to, just because of that one small factor. Now I can go fishing, grab the explorer. I did train like a lot of warriors because I was hoping this explorer meets. And it does get the meat, which means never punished. I'm going to be able to develop reasonably quick. Another explorer as well. This is going to help funnel for my next explorer. Yeah, I'm planning 3 explorers ahead. But yeah, I'm very close to Eye of God already. And they only have 3 cities. And I get a ramming ruin. And a first ramming ruin. Doesn't seem that good, right? But I'm going to show you how good that ramming ruin actually is. It's pretty good, by the way. Like, it seems useless here. What am I going to do with ramming ruin? Like, it might do something later, but what can I possibly do with it in the near future? Well, I'm getting org first. Getting those upgrades is going to help me upgrade my cap down the line. Do some more stuff. They get in the water now. Star Ruin. Get in the water myself. Upgrade this. Capture. Upgrade workshop. They step on the ruin, and then Rammer denies the ruin, which would have not been possible if I did not get ramming. I don't even know if I could have afforded like scouts. No. Only possible with the Rammer. Now Explorer here, just hoping that it does get that I've got, and it doesn't, but I'm able to use the Rammer here to deny them the port, so now this warrior is completely isolated and alone. Which means I'm just going to be able to, once they take the city, just steal it from them. There's nothing they can do there. I'm going to be able to get the giant here now with Grand Bazaar, and this is completely winning. Just denying any and all counterplay, stealing the ruin, and effectively taking the village. They get their giant going, but they can't knock my warrior off, and I'm sieging there and being super annoying. Getting another giant, so I'm going to have 2 giants in the water. It's going to be another water game because this choke point on land just isn't that useful. And I'm just way up in cities. Basically unwinnable for them, so they resign. Now, on to the next game. Alright, now things are getting very serious. We are in the quarterfinals, and I am against the one and only Cabanos. Very strong player, does a lot of these tournaments. And he's beaten me a few times, he knows what he's doing. So, I kind of have to lock in here. But first game, also yeah, this is a best of 3 now, from quarterfinals and beyond. So, I decided to go no road opening just to play things safe. Gonna take my warriors both in different directions, failing to find my city here, so this conservative play actually somewhat working out. I will need the road connections anyway, but I can spam a lot of warriors, just try to be really safe here. Now I grab the Explorer, and I meet them. Looks like a lot of water, and we both went pretty conservative. They actually could have gone with the road opening, it would have worked out, but I guess they wanted to explore in the north, or no, they went towards the, interesting. Went towards the lighthouse. So I just go fishing. I'm gonna get this Explorer, just really see what's up. I know, very Explorer heavy, but I'm gonna be able to workshop on these cities that I know that I'm getting. So, and even like this city here, so I should still be okay. They have forestry, which is really interesting because the math markets are not very good here, and I'm just gonna be focused on expanding with fishing. They could have gone fishing on with the coastal capital, so riding as well. Very, very interesting. But I'm very close to a giant now. Literally next turn, I'm just getting it. So after capturing the city, boom, giant on turn 9. Very good stuff. And I'm next turn getting Grand Bazaar, and I have got all in one. Plus upgrading this so I can get a second port down, because I'll want at least 3 ports in this position, maybe even 4, which is all the ports I can get, although the city also helps. Now hunting. Hunting's kind of weird here, but it does help. Actually, I can use the animals here. I don't know if that was... I was thinking about like the port here. I guess I decided the animal was better. I guess, yeah, because I have this city. But now I can get I've got, and we can see that the opponent's on 4 cities. They're trying to go for the math markets potentially, but I mean, they're very slow to giant, and like I said before, the math markets just aren't great here. And I'm getting another giant and another giant. I have 3 giants, they have none. I have double their city count. Everything is going my way. These riders here are going to try to steal this village, but unfortunately I can play around it. I not only pew pew here, but I move this here, which looks really weird, but this is actually to stop this rider from going here and denying this ruin. So I'm just getting the ruin, and I'm going to be able to get the village as well. You'll see in a bit. They're going to try to take the village, but I have scout. I've got warrior, so that's no problem. Send the Juggernaut near. This is totally unwinnable for them, so 1-0. On to the next match now. Alright, second match. This time my first match without host advantage, but some interesting things already. I can see this fruit here. That means they're using the skin, and they must be very close. They must be in the south. So really big advantage for me if I can just take advantage of that. So I've come up with this really, really crazy idea. So I rode here. Seems normal first. And then I rode here, and I'm just hoping one of these tiles is a village, and they just stepped on it. Because if they did a road opening, which I score counted, they did do a road opening. If they're on one of these tiles, I can road over this warrior, and mess them up. And I was right. They had it. However, I didn't take into account this mountain. If this warrior was on one of these tiles, I could get a road here and knock them off the village, and I'm just stealing a village from them, and it's one of their suburbs, and they're kind of screwed already. But because of this mountain in the way, I can't do the same with this tile. There's a fog tile in the way here, which really sucks because I really, really wanted to knock them off the village. That's why I played like this. But unfortunately, all I can do is threaten to knock them off. And I assume that they're going to respect it. I saw them train a warrior, and I assume they keep another one near. So I just go for the upgrade, and I step on this ruin. Not going for the village because I don't want them to take this ruin. They totally could. But if I take it first, if I get a vet sword or pot from this ruin, or even resources, all three of those are really good results. So I am risking things a lot, but with how that opening kind of failed, I feel like it makes sense to risk things like this. And I get the pop, not a vet sword, but that's definitely the next best thing. Now I can go for riding. And they're going to train some warriors, but they make a mistake here, letting me get that kill. A little bit of a unfortunate mistake for them. Now I can get this workshop, and I've got this village back here perfectly placed, but I go for the ruin instead because I'm actually going to bounce onto the village like that. However, once again, I'm taking a very big risk here. My capital is open because I can't train anything. If Cabanos just has a rider here, he can hit and then kill this warrior with the rider, bounce into my capital, and I will be at a really, really rough position. I can still unsiege. I can use like rider, and then this rider I can hit, bounce back on the ruin, do that, but it would still be quite rough for me. However, like many things in life, never punished. Get a pop ruin, and suddenly this suburb that he stole from me is looking to be reclaimed very soon. With the quick giant there, I go for Park of Fortune back here in case farming. So yeah, and because I spent all that time training warriors, trying to attack me and all that, they don't have any counterplay for a giant. And so they just resign. And very cool. Now I move on to semis, but unfortunately, that is actually where the story ends. So silly old me did not read the rules of this tournament and learned that it was a 2-day tournament. I didn't have time for the second day. I had work because I have a job, which is lame. But yeah, I couldn't do the second day, so I had to forfeit the semifinals and gave the win to Oplix instead, who managed to win the whole tournament. Unfortunately, he isn't the Yadakk tribe champion, spoiler alert. But yeah, I still had a lot of fun though. Absolutely spawn diffing my opponents. So, you know, even though I was stupid and didn't read the rules properly and didn't do a tournament on a different day, it just ends here. I did win all my games though, so it was at least good content. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.